Modern double stack guns come in a few different configurations. You have the full-size grip and full-size slide, compact grip and compact slide, and the full-size grip with a compact slide. We'll take a look at the performance differences for these guns, what it means for concealed carry, and a bit of a deeper dive looking at the Springfield Armory Echelon 4.0 FC. And after that, I'll kind of give you my guidance. Springfield Armory has filled out the lineup for the Echelon with the 4.0 FC. That's right, it's got the F grip or full-size grip and the C slide, which is their compact slide. That's how the name works. If you didn't put it together yet, I'll go ahead and tell you, but Springfield did send these guns in for video. I'm just giving you some kind of data in my opinions. I have no interest in whether you like the gun or not. I'm just giving you the information where you can make up your own mind. If there was something negative about the gun, and I mean, I suppose there is, I don't like the U-notch rear sight, and I think the polymer formulation they use on the grip is a little too slick. So while it does have good grip traction, it's still kind of like a little slippery feeling. It's not that bad. Honestly, the grip traction is pretty good, but those would be the negatives if I were to point them out. And that's because I quite like the Springfield Armory Echelon. I think it is slept on in the, double stack striker segment. I think it's one of the better striker guns going. And I can summarize for you why I do think the Echelon is such an awesome gun. It's got one of the best machine slides in the market. It's got a very good front usable serrations. It's got these little like cocking levers at the back of the slide that makes racking the slide from the rear easier. It's got a front night sight. It's got actual steel night sights, which some people don't put on service gun. It's got a very good optic cut that allows you to mount pretty much any optic directly onto the slide, which is good. It's got decent grip traction and it's got a pretty good ergonomics as well as a pretty good trigger with an ambi mag button. Now that one might be a negative as well. Some people will make contact on the offside with the mag button on ambis and can drop mags or at least bind them. The full-size version of the gun is actually wearing a large grip. I don't know how obvious it is when you put them next to each other, but it's a bigger version of the grip and it still has back straps, so that's kind of neat. And then we'll just get right into the shooting. So I'm about 10 yards on US PSA C-Zone steel. I'm going to be basically shooting 6 times as fast as I feel is appropriate. Just shooting the gun at kind of the edge of what I consider to be acceptable and telling you about what I'm experiencing with it. So I got a shot timer and we'll see what the times are. So we're gonna do 2 runs of each going up from the compact to the full. Here we go. All right, so the second shot was high and off the target. That was a 2-second. Let's go again. All right, that was great. Everything was on there. That was a 169, much better on that one. Second shot was high right again. Learning how to return the gun. That was a 172 the first go. So that one was money at a 164, but not a huge difference between the compact and the full-size gun. All right, last one with the full size here. All 6 on, but a little slow on the trigger, although it was a 159, pretty quick. So it's a 153 on the full-size gun, and I definitely feel like the full-size is the most controllable. It's not a huge difference at 10 yards, and this is going to vary from shooter to shooter based on your level of skill, but at 10 yards I can basically run the gun as fast as I can pull the trigger regardless of which one I put in my hands. We're going to back up to 25 yards and see the same thing and see how that starts to open up. I bet the timer is going to tell a different story there. Now I'm back at 25 yards. We're going to be doing the same thing on the clock again. We'll get started on the 4.0C. All right, one was off. It was the first shot. It was left in a 275, but that was a bad trigger pull by me. All right, unload, show, clear. And that one was a 287 going up to the FC. The short slide with the long grip. I can already tell I'm going to be more stable because the bigger grip. I can tell that was faster. It was a 282. Roughly the same speed, but everything was on. It was a 256, so notably quicker, about 0.2 quicker, which is, I don't know, 5 to 7%. And we'll go up to the big gun at 25 yards. Here we go. All right, the second shot was off target. It was high left at a 267. So a 254, so roughly the same speed as the unload, show, clear. as the FC at distance. Now I've got the large grip module on the full-size gun, which is something you can do with the Echelon because it's a modular fire control thing, and the gun just fits my hand better. I wish that it was on all the other guns now, shooting them back to back, but I would say that I still probably favor the biggest gun, but the FC is a great middle ground. It is almost as shootable, probably, I mean, realistically, it is just as shootable as the big gun, but it's a little bit quicker. I kind of like it.
So I looked at the guns under high-speed footage doing rapid fire, and what I found, well, there wasn't a tremendous difference in how the guns move under rapid fire. The gun on the left, the full-size Echelon, and the gun in the middle, the FC, basically move the same. What you'll notice is the gun on the right, the compact, because the grip is a little bit short and I'm only getting about a 2.5 finger grip on the gun because my pinky hangs over basically the magazine. There's a little bit more rotation, so it kind of is a little bit more floppy and I'm a little less confident on the triggers, so the trigger speed's a bit slower, but that's kind of the big difference.
I did take the gun to my fancy indoor gun club with my fancy pistol rest because I am a fancy man, and what I found was that the groupings between the FC and the F were basically the same. There was really no difference between them, so that's nice. So that kind of further supports that sort of this 4-inch slide that's on the FC is kind of the right length for a slide, because that's what 9mm is generally designed around, as a 4-inch barrel. At this point, I will give you my feelings on the guns, because if I didn't, you guys would ask me in like an email or something like that, so I'll just put it on the table right now. Now, if you are an iron shooter and you are using it as a range gun, a home defense gun, all that kind of stuff, then I would say the full-size gun makes more sense. For iron shooter, the more sight radius you can get, the easier it is to get good hits down range. It doesn't mean the gun's more accurate, it just means it's more practically accurate because the aiming device is a little better. So the full-size gun would be awesome. I personally wouldn't mind carrying a full-size gun if I were thinking about this for carry, because I can get away with a 17-round grip. If you are somebody who doesn't like anything longer than about 4 inches on the inside the waistband, there's a joke right there. Just reach out and take it, it's yours. The 4.0 FC is honestly, from a performance perspective, a really good kind of sweet spot in the middle. It shoots basically the same as the big gun. It's maybe slightly faster feeling in recoil, not a whole lot different, honestly. The shorter muzzle may lead it for some people in how they carry to be more comfortable, potentially for people who are on the strong side but like the full-size grip. Then that would be a great option for you. Still capable of home defense, all that good stuff. Still a super pleasant shooting gun. The compact would be the pick for the person who needs, you know, the most concealment possible, doesn't want any printing. The shorter 15-round grip is going to, you know, deliver that for you in a way the 17-round just can't. So call me traditional, but I like full-size guns with 4.5-inch barrels, but this now exists for you guys who prefer, you know, the 4-inch variant of the gun. If you want to learn more about either the full-size gun or the compact, I've got videos that you can watch on those here.